Cool. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is the first video you're watching this, and I'm going to react to the Fast X trailer. This looks interesting. Let's go and take a look at it.
I know that this road has been very hard, and yet here you are, building this magnificent family. What's going on in that head of yours?
Something little piece of it. I said, Dad, they're not afraid of anything. But I'm afraid of losing someone I love. Dominic Toretto, you're about to learn all about fear. Boom. You built such a beautiful life, filled with love and family. Yep. I never got that chance. You stole that from me. My future. My family. And now, I'm gonna break yours. Piece by piece.
What is going on? Bonnie, what's going on?
He's coming for you with everything.
What's the plan, Dom? I'm not sure anymore.
One of us might not come back from this, but we have to fight.
Never accept death when suffering is owed.
It's a setup.
He's trying to tear us apart.
Winning used to be about winning. We raced for respect. Today, I raced to stop the bloodbath. That's the problem with having such a big family.
A lot of people in the
How do
family.
you choose the ones you save? Let's race!
Oh yeah.
You still know how to drive?
We're together now.
What do you think?
It's showtime.
Here we go!
Game recognizes game.
I'm coming for you, son.
From space. Oh.
Here they come.
Yeah, no
You will
physics. I
never
love
be able to break my family.
it. Oh,
The morning sunshine. You gotta be kidding me.
oh yeah. End of the road begins. Of course, and let's end in the poster. Wow. Well, that was a lot. I mean, from the action and just okay, I'm trying to remember that there was a particular scene in here, but no, they clearly showed a lot of stuff. Good trailer. So this is coming out, I think, May 19th, I believe. But yeah, so in May. One thing I heard though is obviously Jason Momoa, he's playing the villain in this movie. So I think his dad was the main villain, the fifth one, where they stole the money from him and then he died, and he's his son, and now he's up for revenge. I mean, it's all about family, so it makes sense because it's all connected. Somewhere I saw, it actually said that that uh in an interview, like I was searching up, like Fast 11s because I want to see what's next. And apparently, I think like Wikipedia somewhere I said that Vin Diesel in an interview in February said that this for right now, but he said that he would want maybe Robert Downey Jr., who played Iron Man, to be the villain, like the like his main villain in Fast and Furious 11. And I think that's pretty crazy because just the amount of people in this, and then the more people that Vin Diesel is trying to bring, he's really going to bring Marvel and DC together before they can do it themselves. Which is kind of interesting. Of course, we got Peacemaker, we got Aquaman, we got Groot. So, who's the heroes starting to come together? Of course, Rock left, but I don't know. I guess just a lot of stuff going. I mean, I know he wasn't going to be in this movie because he didn't want to be in this movie, and then I know Vin Diesel asked for him to come back. Like he sent like a video or something, but yeah, I guess he didn't do it. I think they filmed this during the summer because I remember like I saw a video or something saying that they began principal photography like sometime during the summer. So I know they filmed um towards the second half of 2022. Um, but yeah, I cannot wait to see this one. And I'm kind of wondering how this movie is going to end because I know it's going to end differently because this is a two-parter and this is the first part. So I don't think this movie is going to have a 100% ending. I know there's got to be some sort of cliffhanger at the end of this movie. I don't think it's just going to be normal family barbecue type of thing because that generally happens if like that chapter is over and then this is the next chapter. But in order to make it like feel like a true two-parter, something needs to really happen at the end of this movie that's going to happen in the second part, kind of like how Infinity War they lost, and then they tried to win again in Endgame. That was kind of the goal. Of course, the characters are coming together as about being a team one more time. The original Avengers, so that was really cool. So I'm wondering if someone is going to die in this movie. Vin Diesel probably won't die at the end of this movie because there's probably going to be the 11th one. Maybe he might die in that one, but I'm still wondering, is someone going to die this because I feel like there has to be some sort of consequence, some sort of stake. Because the problem is that they kill off some characters and they keep bringing them back. So like like the whole death isn't permanent thing, whatever. Like one character might be gone and then they'll just come back. But yeah. But however, it's so weird how just in the previous movie, Dom's brother was the villain, and now he's the hero in this one. Which kind of makes sense because it's a two-parter and he's his brother, so they got to get the whole family in on this one. But it's still interesting, that he just became a good guy just like that. Like no second thought is like, okay, I'm a good guy now. Because I remember that scene in Fast Nine, you know, it was called, or Furious Nine, whatever the Fast Saga, something like that. I don't remember, but still interesting though how he became a good guy. And I was like, what's the plan, Dom? So I'm like, bruh, you were. Let me actually do this. There. You were the villain in the previous movie, and now you're like, what is that? Like, honestly, don't get it. He was the main villain. Now just goes like that. I don't know. It's interesting, but this franchise come a long way. With the first movie just being about racing. Because I know I only got into this franchise because my friend who I met loved cars, and then the first Fast and Furious movie I ever saw was Furious 7, and I'm like, what the heck is going on? I'm like, I don't understand any of this. It's so weird if Furious 7 is the first Fast and movie. It's a good Fast and Furious movie, and I know why, but I don't understand anything. So I wanted to go ahead and rewatch all the Fast and the Furious movies. I only remember a little bit of the first one, not too much. I only got into it just before Fast 9 was coming out, supposed to come in 2020. So really from 2020 to 2020, I was just binge watching the whole Fast and Furious series. And I'm more of a Marvel sort of guy. I'll probably make some videos reacting to Marvel trailers as well, maybe to the new Ant-Man movie. It's coming out on Thursday. I love Marvel. I really want to react to it. I know it's been out longer, so I might do that sometime. And then some other Marvel trailers. I know there's Guardians 3 and maybe some shows. And I'm also but I'm gonna keep that later. But I showed my friend, the Marvel movie. That took a really long time because we didn't really meet each other that long. It took us like a couple years to actually get through the whole all the Marvel movies on Disney Plus. But when I watch the Fast and Furious movies, you feel different. The movies feel different from what started in 2001, and then I saw the second one, Too Fast, Too Furious, which was just not including Dom. And then the third one, Tokyo Drift. My friend really likes that one. I can see why. Even the racing, that's like one of the best ones if you like racing. But a lot of people don't like it because it's not a normal Fast and Furious movie. It's a bit different. It doesn't follow one of the main characters, it follows someone else. I like to think of it as a separate sort of movie. I know it has Han, and then it has I don't even know the name of the guy from Tokyo Drift. I'm just like, oh, he's in Fast Nine. But I'm like, what is his name? I don't even know what his name is. I don't even think I remembered his name. I mean, it's been a while since I've seen it. And even in Fast Nine, I'm like, oh, there he is. Because I remember the scene in Fast Nine, Furious Nine, whatever. Um I remember that he was like, um Dominic Toretto sent us, and then the other guy was like, who's Dominic Toretto? Because like, they didn't really be with each other for that long, so I don't know. Of course, I know who Han is, and I know Dom, and I know Brian. I think that's all I know. Oh, and the Letty, of course. And then apparently, Brie Larson is gonna play Tess in this movie, who I think is like Paul Walker's character's sister. So yeah, I think that's interesting. Brian's sister being in this movie because now we've got to bring the first side of the family into this one. I mean, they've been with each other for a really, really long time. So it only makes sense. But it's interesting, we've never really seen much of Brian's family, so I'm wondering what she's like. Um, it'll definitely be interesting. I wonder how they're going to introduce her, though. I'm interested in seeing it. But apparently, they're all good fighters. They're all good at fighting and just destroying the laws of physics. I don't know if you guys know this, but I love talking about physics. Just seeing these movies, I just turn that part off, and I'm just there to enjoy it. That's all I can do. And then the fourth Fast and Furious movie, I remember I saw that by myself, and it was all right. It was decent. I thought some of it was interesting, but yeah, the fifth one was really, really good. I know people really love the fifth one. Sixth one was not too bad. It's all right. The seventh one was really, really good. I really like the seventh one, full of action. I don't know. Ever since the eighth one came out, the eighth one was just a little weird, with Dom being the villain. Of course, he was like under control of Cypher and all that. I get it, but I don't know. And the redemption arc for Owen Shaw, just like that, just like that, just immediately became a good guy by the end of the eighth movie, kind of like what they did with Dom's brother in the ninth one, like just like that, immediately a good guy. And in the post credit scene of the ninth one, when they were showing like Shaw and then Han came, I'm like, okay, something's gonna happen, but no, why did I think that? Because apparently in this trailer they're like working together now. I'm pretty sure something happens. I don't think they're gonna stay mad at each other for too long because they kind of need Shaw at this point because he kind of had the whole redemption arc kind of thing. Um, I don't think he's really gonna blame. I don't think he wanted to kill him. I heard I think Cypher made him do it or something. I honestly don't know, but I'm interested to see what's going to go on with that. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this movie, I guess. I'm interested to see what Jason Momoa's character is gonna be called. What's he gonna do? I don't remember the name of the villain in the fifth one. Like who was he? I remember. Okay, I remember they robbed a bank. Okay, I remember the fifth one now. Their plan was to like rob the bank and steal the money so all their futures and lives will be set. That was the plan with the fifth one. Like they weren't really going up against anyone. Well, they kind of were, but they needed money to be set and save for their future and their families. And then of course, then they have the whole thing with the Rock's character trying to stop them and all. But eventually he joins them for some reason I can't remember. I think because like he saved him or something, and then they're like, okay, the people who I'm working with are kind of bad. But now they don't really have to run away anymore because I remember because in the sixth one, they were fugitives. I think the plan was, I think then the Rock was like, if you help me, you guys all get pardoned and your lives are set. So then there's reason they did that. I don't think they ever went back on that, because then they became good. And then the villains changed in the seventh and the eighth one. Oh, eighth one was Cypher, yeah. So it was just different scenarios. But yeah, I mean, I can understand why The Rock was not in this trailer, obviously, because I know what's been going on between the two characters. But it's interesting how far the franchise has come. It's come a long way, even though I've barely seen it. I've only seen it as for like this amount of time since it came out. But I can understand where people are coming from. I'm just a fast thinker when it comes to these types of things. Because I remember people were saying that after the seventh Fast and Furious movie, after Paul Walker died, they shouldn't have continued anymore. And I can understand that from that point of view. After losing such a main character playing such a pivotal role, but I understand why they decided to keep going because they realized maybe that's the best they want. So I can understand that point of view. But it's just interesting how far this range has come, and now they're trying to go back to it. And I like how they're utilizing the resources that they played in the previous movies, because rather than just trying to come up with something new, since they can't really come up with anything new, it's going to be an action movie. It's going to end with a barbecue scene. Like we all know that stuff. I'm interested though if it will end with the barbecue scene because I feel like if this is a two-parter, it has to end a little bit differently. Like, there should be some sort of consequence that feels like okay, something's gonna happen that's the second part of this. It's like how they did Infinity War, but I'm interested to see where it's gonna go. But I know some of the stuff is kind of the same sort of thing, but it's a bit more refreshing. I like how they made. I'm actually more worried in this trailer. This was a long trailer, almost 4 minutes long, and I'm also interested because during the Super Bowl we're gonna get some extra scenes. So I'm wondering what new stuff we're gonna get. You know how once the first trailer comes out, every other trailer they show like maybe like the same trailer but just a little bit more and just expand on that. It's interesting how this was just 4 minutes long, but we already found out so much. That just makes you realize how much valuable a whole big movie is. You showed a fraction of it. We know this much now. I mean, obviously, they got to get you invested in the character and the story. We're still unclear exactly what's going on, but this confirmed a lot of our theories and this explained a lot more. And I'm really interested to see just Momoa playing the villain in this one. And I think that's what I'll have to say. It's going to be interesting, though. It's going to be interesting, with his son being more involved in this movie and being in danger, and then Dom kind of started having to choose, like, what to do. And I'm interested in how they're going to go beyond this movie. Of course, they got a new director. I don't know his name. It's like Louis Leterrier or something like that. I know he directed the Incredible Hulk movie. I'm like, oh no, what's going to happen now? But I'm pretty sure it wasn't really his fault. I mean, I can't blame him or Edward Norton. I don't really know much what happened there. But with this one, it's pretty obvious that Vin Diesel has full control of this project. Like, he's not letting anything step in. He just won't direct. He'll find someone who'll let him bring his ideas. Obviously, he's a big producer in this type of thing. Like pretty much Vin Diesel is the boss of the Fast and Furious franchises. If you're not on board with him, you're gonna end up like The Rock and just not want to do it. He'll probably ask you to come back, but you gotta stick on your ground and say no, I can't. And I can understand from The Rock's point of view, if you don't like being in a place you don't like being, just say no. Even if, it'll make millions and millions and millions of people happy. This is exactly what The Rock is doing. Now, I can't say too much about it because I don't know exactly what's going on, but I can say, I mean, he really made a choice. I'm not really going to pick sides or whatever, but I can understand both points of view. From a fan point of view, yes, I'd want him to return, but I also understand how his character, I don't know what exactly what's going on between them because, there are multiple reports. Some could be true, some could be false, but I know, the directions change, but whatever. But I'm totally excited for this movie. I can't wait to see it coming out in May. It's going to be really awesome. And I'm also wondering how it's going to compete with all the other stuff coming around that time, because I know there's a lot of stuff coming out. Yeah. Seeing though Brie Larson in this is kind of interesting because I know she was in Captain Marvel, and obviously since I've seen all the Marvel movies, and people just don't like her character. I can kind of see why they really limited her screen time in Endgame. No, just kidding. It's probably not why, but still, it's interesting. And also with Captain Marvel 2 coming out, I'll just talk a little bit about that and then we'll wrap up. With Captain Marvel 2 coming out, I'm not at all interested in that thing. I didn't even watch Miss Marvel. I was just bored. I don't really feel like the target audience. I know it's for kids, but I just didn't feel any of it. I mean, if you liked it, sure, it's cool, whatever. But I just didn't watch it. That's the only main Marvel thing I didn't see. I also didn't see Wolf by Night. I just didn't feel like watching it. I know it's cool and all, and it's different, but I just don't like the cool and all different. I did like some of the other stuff, but whatever. But with this, I'm totally excited to see this. I hope this movie does well. Um, I'll probably see it in theaters, but yeah, totally excited to see this. I'm wondering how it's gonna do, compared to the other Fast and Furious movies, but I'm pretty sure it's probably gonna do well. And what new thing they're gonna do? I mean, they went to space. Now, what, are they gonna go to the ocean or something? Like, I mean, hey, or they could just go to a new planet or something. I don't know, but I'm really interested to see what they're gonna do with this one. Or they're more so gonna go back to the roots and instead of going forward. I think they've reached the limit. I mean, literally, space is the final frontier. Where are they gonna go now? I'm glad they're going back to the original roots and sticking to that, and then maybe tying in some new stuff as well. But we'll see how that plays out. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys some other time. Once again, this is the Eagle Reviewer. I look at stuff and I just review and watch stuff. That's pretty much all I do. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys some other time. Bye bye.